got super paranoid the other week that I was going to get fired from my job. A question was asked to me, do you think this is the right scope of work for you? And I just spiraled. I don't know if anyone else has felt this way, where you sometimes feel like a failure at work and you wonder if everyone else has caught on to that too. For me, these feelings creep up when I want to be good at my job, but I see certain gaps not being met. I want to make an impact, but I don't know quite where to get started. And I want to so badly meet expectations, but I just don't know if I did or not. So here is a video for anyone else who might also feel like a failure at work sometimes. I think sometimes from the outside looking in, it can feel like, someone's made it because they work at X company or they make a certain salary. And I think it can definitely feel very validating to get there. But it's also like when the dust settles is really when the growing pains and the doubts really start to kick in. So for example, ever since I started working at Google, I've always asked myself, how can I be smarter and get there quicker? Because sometimes I just feel like things are clicking slower for me and I want to get there like today. And while I think it's very good to be challenged like that, I realize that sometimes that's what makes me feel like a failure, because I don't feel like that subject matter expert that I should be in my job. And as uncomfortable and unsettling as that may feel, I realize that that's also a really big learning opportunity, and I know that I will be growing so much while feeling that way. But it's also not all in my head, because I actually had my quarterly review a while back and my manager was asking, how do you think this quarter went for you? I was very upfront. I told her, looking back, that I could have definitely moved the needle more on some of my projects, but I got really lost and I started spinning on them. And she acknowledged that that was true. What actually stuck out to me though was that she actually commended me for my self-awareness. There is such value in being able to very brutally and honestly assess yourself, because once you do that, you can start building solutions for yourself and build those solutions with people that have a very active say in your growth and your career, like your manager. I think also when you call yourself out like that, you make it a lot easier to receive constructive feedback, because it's always easy to want feedback, but it's a lot harder to give that feedback. And I think if you can call yourself out, it makes it easier on the other person to validate or refute what you're saying. So in the past, I definitely think a conversation like that would have totally derailed me. I would have been like, is this even what I should be doing in my life? Is this the right job for me? But I do think with more experience, I'm able to center and ground myself a lot quicker. Not to say that I don't flail from time to time, but definitely the amount of time that I spend flailing has dropped, because hey, I remember feeling like this before and things turned out to be absolutely fine. And even if it's not fine in this moment, this is just a moment in time, and it does not define my career. My career also does not define my self-worth. I define my self-worth. Now I try to ask myself instead, where can I take more ownership and step up for myself? Ups and downs in our career are so normal. And I think the ups and downs that follow year one at a company versus year two versus more tenured are all so very different too. Don't let your career define who you are. Let yourself define your career and take that ownership that you do have over your job. For some of us, that means inceptioning our biggest and wildest dreams. And for others of us, it means security and stability. Whatever it may mean to you, I think when you do feel like a failure at work, like I do sometimes too, it just means that you really care about what you do. And I think that's a great foundation to start off from. Like for me, I feel like that failure when I see that gap between where I am today and where I want to be, And I'm trying to reframe that as a desire to strive towards that potential that I envision in myself, or the potential that the people around me envision for me. So all that to say, I hope that if you have also ever felt this way, that you feel a lot more seen and heard. I really wanted to try and normalize this experience that I feel is very common and a lot of us may experience. Thanks so much for watching, and leave a comment on what resonated. Bye!